News. What is news? A quick Google search will tell you that news is defined as newly received or noteworthy information, especially about recent or important events. However, when you say the word news, most people think about that program everybody watches that makes family dinners a lot more uncomfortable. We unfortunately often find ourselves victim to various news companies desperate to grab our attention through their constant fighting about disheartening topics like global warming or who the judges for the next season of The Voice will be. However, many have been able to find solace in local news stations which hold no political agenda, unless an election is happening, or women's rights are being discussed, or a new celebrity comes out as gay, or people are trying to rewrite history books to be less harsh on white people, or... With so much noise filling our airways, finding a station that dedicates itself to news rather than politics feels impossible, and that's because it is. However, the satirical television show News, News, and Even More News provided viewers with entertainment in times of great distress. The show was directed by and starred the mysterious Jim Glasses, a man known for his massive ego and subpar intellect. Along with Jim, there were a myriad of strange characters and animals that helped make the show watchable. However, it appears that the set of News, News, and Even More News was cursed. Many actors and crew members encountered misfortune during the show's lifespan. Injuries became commonplace, and set malfunctions resulted in multiple casualties. It all came to a head when the show's host, Jim Glasses, mysteriously vanished the night before the grand finale. To make things stranger, almost all episodes have disappeared from the face of the earth. Only 5 episodes have been located, using secret methods that we cannot show for legal reasons. I have made it my mission to discover what happened on this set. Was Jim the monster that the show depicted? What segments were hidden from the general public? Where did the line between reality and television show end? Who were the faces behind the scenes that helped run the show? And most importantly, what happened to Jim Glasses? My name is Damien Slant, and you're watching Truth, Truth, and Even More Truth.
Hello everybody, and welcome to News, News, and Even More News. I'm Jim here.
News, News, and Even More News was a comedy show that satirized the absurdity of everyday news segments with various outlandish characters. It covered many topics during its single-season run. Some segments covered animal cruelty, while others played trailers for seemingly fake movies in an attempt to make people laugh. However, while researching this show, it came to my attention that the movies were actually real. The company behind News, News, and Even More News held the copyrights for several failed movies, but many were scrapped because they just weren't that good. Despite all attempts to locate these films, the trailer seen on the show appeared to be the only sign that they ever existed. We even tried Soap Today, but these films weren't even worth pirating. While many actors never made it in the industry, one woman named Stephanie Lawrence became a breakout star despite the first film being labeled, quote, a sequel no one wanted that is somehow worse than the original. Stephanie has found great success with her husband, Herbert Perkins, who happens to be the cameraman behind the unpopular YouTube video British Tea Party, featured on the show. The two have become millionaires with the help of Stephanie's acting career and Herbert's NFTs, which he has named Perkin Tokens. We had the opportunity to sit down with the famous couple for an interview about how their appearance on the show affected their lives. Thank you for agreeing to this interview.
Oh my god, no, thank you so much for having me. This is fun. This is really fun.
Now, I noticed that your husband is not with us at the moment. Where is he?
Oh my god, he's always flying around and meeting investors and making money and yeah, so I'm pretty much on my own most of the time, which is great. I love it. I love it.
So what was it like filming Hunger Games Catching Blazes?
Oh, it's just like a normal set. Like, nothing too crazy happened. But, that's where Herbert and I met. So, I got one good thing out of it,
Oh, he was filming with you on the set?
No, but he did see me on Instagram, and then he slid into my DMs, and he just wrote me, like, the most adorable messages that, they were so interesting, and I was like, I have to know more about you,
While the original messages are long lost to time, we were able to recreate what they may have sounded like using Stephanie's descriptions and the Reddit thread Creepy PMs. This is their love story.
Oh, whoa. You look so hot, Mama. Would you want to be my girlfriend? Blush is hard.
What?
Begins to be. I'm sorry. Am I being annoying? I can go away and never bother you again if you want.
No, you're fine.
Shit's an excitement. Thank you. Tail wags furiously.
LOL, you're so funny. What's your name?
My mom named me Herbert, but my wolf self is named Lindlewood of the West.
Oh my god, and then he sent me, this poem that was, so pretty and, so cool. And, I wish I saved it, but, unfortunately, I didn't, and it's, lost to time forever, which is, oh no, but, yeah, it was so cute. If only I had it,
We did our best to recreate what the poem could be.
Your hair is as red as the blood that I've spilled, protecting my clan from the humans and their filth. I wish that we could howl at full moons together. I'd give anything to feel your bobs forever. Lindlewood of the West.
Selfie for Instagram!
And then, the filming wrapped, and I looked up who he was and who his family was, and then we met in real life, and it's the rest is history. Happily ever after,
Wow, such a beautiful love story. So your husband was featured in the British Tea Party YouTube video that was featured on the show.
Yeah, he was the cameraman, the man behind the camera.
How did both of your appearances on News, and Even More News affect your life?
Well, it was really interesting because sir, we have Herbert online for you.
Bring him in.
Online?
Yes, we asked if you would do a joint interview, and while Herbert is not physically here, we were able to connect with him via Zoom, like them COVID times.
Oh, cool. That's cool. That's cool.
Is there a problem with him joining us?
I didn't know that he would be joining us. I figured because he's not here, it would just be you and me. Well, no, that's fine. That's fine. Cool. Yeah. Hey, hi, baby. just give me a second.
Would you please state your name and who you are? Herbert, have we lost you? Can we get some?
I'm just playing with you. I'm not pressing.
Oh, good one.
Yeah. So my name is Herbert Perkins. You might know me for my NFTs, the Perkin tokens. Very very hip, very cool. Yeah, kids love it. I mean, it's so chill. It's dope. you know what the kids say.
We've been talking to your wife about how News, and Even More News affected her life after she was featured. Would you mind explaining how it affected you?
Well, that's a complicated topic. After it was known that, I was dating such a prominent celebrity, I faced some harassment. People were saying, I was ugly and that she was better than me and that, I should kill myself, which I guess is internet lingo. But it was tough, but Stephanie was my rock. You know, she was there for me like all the time. I can't see you, but I love you, babe.
I was definitely there.
So fine. After all the hate died down, you know, I thought back to that video that, you know, that really, you know, started everything, you know, British Tea Party, which, I mean, like, if you think about it, like, the entire thing was like a satirical commentary, because like British people, they're the ones who love tea. So we were like, what if we were British, but instead of tea it was milk? You know, like, that's never been done before. And we really just like, we wanted to do something that was really going to shake things up, you know, just do something that nobody had ever thought of doing before. Like, what if we had a tea party, but it's not tea? And what if we had people who drink tea not drinking tea? You know, like, what does that say?
I don't know. What does it say?
Really, like, launched me into my film project, which, you know, I did. It was called Milk and Depression, and, you know, it's about so many things, like society and how we expect women to act, and, you know, it was also about race and, like, you know, the economy, and also, you know, I mean, this part was a little more like controversial, but we did make reference to Hiroshima in it. You know, we were really doing what no one else wanted to do.
Wow.
And, you know, luckily for us, like, that film ended up winning awards. So, you know, it was hard work put in that my dad funded.
They were Razzie's babe.
Hey, all press is good press. Am I right? she gets me, dude. Like,
So how did you manage to afford such a luxurious home? I imagine it wasn't through filmmaking.
after filming, you know, it didn't work out, and my dad was like, you need to get a job, which is like, I mean, that's like crazy. Like, you know, my dad was such a powerful self-made man, you know, like, his dad worked so hard to keep this business that he had inherited. We do come from a long line of people that, you know, okay, so they were slave owners, but they treated their slaves like so cool though, like so chill. Yes, they technically, you know, like, extorted labor of people, and then, like, we built our, like, entire company. You know, like, they had to keep that, which is like it's really difficult, especially in these times. You know, like, I realized I needed to make my own path, you know, and film just seemed to, like, not be it. It just seemed to, like, you know, life had other ideas for me. So, I mean, like, that's how I got into crypto.
Oh my god, he hates talking about the crypto stuff. Like,
No, it's fine, sweetie. Like, I was down on my luck, and luckily, I had this amazing person who's sitting right next to me.
no, I think that we were still, like, separated. I could be remembering wrong. You know, you never know.
No, because, like, no, we had gotten together by that. We'd gotten back together by that point when the money started rolling in.
Wait a minute, you two were separated at some point?
The day that we separated was, like, when everything started going downhill in my life. You know, like, everything went, like, dark. It was, like, gray. You know, like, when when your world is, like, gray, because of, like, I mean, I don't talk about this very often, but I have depression, and, you know, it's really tough. Like, some days I wake up and it's just like, I'm so tired, and it's like, I just, like, don't even want to do anything. Like, I don't even want to get out of my bed, and it's like, it got to the point where it's like, I can't even, you know, tell the servants which part of the house they need to clean. Like, I just can't. I just had to, like, hire another person to tell them, because it was too much, you know. It's rough out here.
Do any of you have, like, a Tylenol? No reason. I'm sorry.
You know, like, I mean, like, Stephanie wasn't there for me during all the hate, and it's like, yeah, there was a girl named Rachel, but it's like, she wasn't the one. And it's like, I knew that. And Stephanie knew that I knew that. And it's like, you know, I'm just like, I'm so happy that we were able to put this behind us and move on to be together. Because like, I don't know what I do. I mean, it's like, what's the point of owning like one of the biggest beds in the world if you have no one to sleep in it with you? And it's like, yeah, I could have had anyone, but it's like, you know, I had her. And we were meant to be together, man.
Oh,
like,
babe, you're so nice.
Like, we were meant to be together, and it's, I'm just so grateful that she forgave me for my mistakes. And I just want her to know that, like, I'll never mess up again. Because I love you. Babe, I can't see you. Can you, like... Okay. I love you.
I love you too, babe.
I love you, babe.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to get, like, emotional. It's just, like, you know...
Wow, such a beautiful story. So, what happened to the co-stars from the British Tea Party video?
Oh, they're dead.
Okay, then.
Are we done here? Are we good? I think we got everything we need, right?
Stephanie, why do you want this interview to be over so quickly?
I don't have much more to say. He said it all. Everything's perfect.
Why can nobody find the movie that you filmed?
I'm sure you can find it.
No, babe. Like, I remember you told me to, like, get rid of him.
He's joking. He's joking.
No,
He's such a goofster.
You said that, like, there was a secret that, like, would ruin your career and shit, and I was like, I got you, fam.
Hold on. You were able to erase the movie's existence?
Oh, you can do, like, anything if you have enough money.
What about that movie caused you so much distress, Stephanie?
It's none of your business, really. It's really none of your business.
What happened to your male co-star Stanley?
I don't know a Stanley. Never met a Stanley. Never knew a Stanley. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, isn't Stanley the guy that you killed?
Why did you murder your co-star?
Listen, it was an accident, okay? I didn't mean to hurt him. We had just gotten into filming, and I was backing out of the lot, and he was behind my car. And, you know, Herbert had a rich dad, and I knew that I'd lose roles if people found out what I'd done. And so he promised to make everything go away. And then I felt like I owed him, so I stayed with him through all the cheating and the lying and the manipulation. And now I'm just another rich housewife who will never be able to be with someone that they actually love. Because, like it or not, I've gotten used to this life, and there might not be love, but there's a roof over my head and nice things, and don't you dare judge me because you would have done the same thing if you had gotten the chance. Stanley was the only person that ever loved me for me, and I'm the reason that he's dead, and I'm the reason that I will never be able to actually be happy, so I hide it with gifts and fake niceties with people that I don't like. Is that the confession you wanted? Asshole, is this good enough for you? Are you happy with yourself? I'm just another fake person. What's new?
And when Jim made fun of the trailer, you were afraid that your little secret would get out, so you had him killed and erased the show in an attempt to cover up your tracks.
No, I didn't kill him. I just sued him for emotional distress.
It was at this moment that I realized that all of this had been a waste of time. Okay, well, this is awkward, so thank you so much for your time, and tell Herbert that I'm sorry his parents, named him Herbert. I'm just, okay, we can go now. Come on, bring me, where is the beer?
Closing the laptop doesn't, end the call.
Oh, shut up, Herbert. I know you're still texting Rebecca.
With 2 suspects eliminated, my list had narrowed by quite a lot. However, the search for who destroyed the show's existence and possibly murdered Jim continued to challenge my investigative skills. However, I am not one to give up.
No, that's a snake. Nope. Nope.
Most of the people I met seemingly had no motive or seemed too boring to want to eradicate an entire show. Joining me today is the production assistant from the show, Susie Newman.
Thank you for having me today.
So, not only were you the production assistant of the show, but you also played the little girl who loves chipmunks during one of the segments. What's the story behind that?
So, the day before the shooting, the little girl that was supposed to play that part ended up getting tragically hit by a golf cart. So, I took her spot in that role.
I think everyone in the room can see that you look a lot different from when the show aired. Have you gotten any work done?
I actually got my hair done just last week. Thank you for noticing.
I don't think hair dye can do all that, but okay. So, on the show, you were bitten by the chipmunk. Now, was that real or was that for the bit?
It was in fact very real. Once I got bit by that chipmunk, I ran off the set, and thankfully Jim was there to save my life, I guess you could say. He drove me to the hospital and he got me the medical help I needed. Granted, he made me sign an NDA once I was under the influence of all the pain medication I needed to be on. He still, at the end of the day, saved my life.
So now that the show is over and Jim is presumed dead, how have you been spending your days?
I have been an environmental activist. So essentially I state what needs to be stated for the future generation.
As I said, boring.
And our environment really needs an activist. So I took on that role.
Wow. It seemed like the trail had gone cold, and I briefly considered giving up. However, Lady Luck brought a heater.
Hi there. Are you looking to find someone but you have no idea where they are? Well, my name is Jeffrey Buckets. You might know me from my creation, the Elfman, but today I'm here to help you locate whoever the hell you need to find. Ex-lovers, future fathers, and past employees of various companies. I can, and will, find them for you. Jeffrey Buckets, Buckets People Finder. We don't care why, we won't give you an alibi. Who the hell are you trying to find?
Hello, my name is... Luckily, college improv taught me how to think on my feet, and I knew that this guy might get suspicious if I told him who I really was.
David Straight. Okay, Mr. Straight, who you trying to find?
Yes, I was hoping you could find an actor that played a certain weatherman on a show you might have heard of. Called News, and Even More News?
Well, I think I can help you out there, Mr. Straight.
It was time to get the first piece to this complicated puzzle. I did not expect to find the weatherman inside a maximum security prison, but life is like a box of chocolates. You never know which ones have killed people. However, I did not expect to see who would await me as I was motioned into the meeting room. Hello, Mr. Slant.
There's a bunch of death and doom and destruction!
You're not the weatherman you're looking for, I assume. I mean, I was gonna say the psychopath that talked about blood rain on television, but... yeah, that works too. Oh, that was just a character. I really am a non-violent person. You were charged with the double homicide and the suspected murder of Jim Glasses. Okay, well, it sounds a lot worse when you list it all out like that, but I never hurt Jim. It's just like I told the jury. Someone else beat me to it. But if you're going with my theory, I don't think he's actually dead. Wait, isn't your full name Gavin Dahmer? Well, I actually go by Gavin Christ now, you see. The Lord showed me his light, and now I preach the gospel to death row inmates. Before they brought me in, the police officers told me that you stabbed somebody last week. Well, you know, the Lord moves through mysterious ways. You ate his ear, and now the devil has one less ear to whisper into. So, all good. Okay, I don't think that that's how that works, but sure, fine, okay. I can tell that you're disappointed. You just weren't exactly who I expected to see. Yes, well, perhaps I can give you the wisdom that you seek. But first,
You must hear these riddles that I speak.
The man continued to speak in various rhymes and riddles for 2 minutes straight, while my thoughts drifted to how I could steer the conversation into something more helpful. I also thought about what to get for lunch, especially because I had just started Weight Watchers and I didn't want to immediately.
And there, you will find the truth that you seek. Yeah, cool. So what were your opinions of news, and even more news? That was literally in the rhyme. Were you not paying attention? Obviously, I was paying attention. I worked very hard on that rhyme, and it's a little rude for you to not pay attention when I'm speaking it all out to you. You know, I don't share my creative projects with everybody, and that took me at least 2 days in solitary confinement to think of. I paid attention. Can you repeat one line of the poem? Just one line. You just said it so beautifully. There's nothing I could say that could make it any better. Uh-huh. We were also having, technical difficulties, so okay, yeah, sure. Technical difficulties. You might just need to say it again. Although my time on the show was brief, I do long for the camera. It was actually my friend that suggested the position.
This piece of information was exactly what I was looking for.
You were friends with the cameraman on that show, right? Who, Gerald? I would say he's more of an acquaintance that I met in Santa Fe, who I followed around in hopes that one day they'd realize that they deserve to be in a relationship with me because we were meant to be together. Okay, then. Yes, he was the one who suggested me for the job. I actually still know where he lives. And I can tell you. For a price. What's the price? Oh, just... if you find Jim, I want you to tell him something. What do you want me to tell him? I'm choosing to stay in here. I can leave whenever I want. This concrete enclosure cannot contain mine or God's will. And one day, I will find him. And I will snuff out his puny, insignificant flame. And the world will be better because of it.
I was too frightened to tell him that I wasn't paying attention to most of what he just said.
Sure. We'll do, Mr. Don Christ. Mr. Christ. Oh, Godspeed, Mr. Slant. You are the best chance that I'll find him. But just be careful. You never know what sort of twists and turns will be on your road.
As I walked away from the deranged man, I couldn't help but feel like the first domino had been pushed in a series of other dominoes that would result in a series of unfortunate events. I was done speaking to these unknown players in this larger game. It was time to tackle the more important people. As I drove to the home of Gerald Birkins, I began to wonder what I should ask him. What questions could be used to find the missing pieces of this puzzle? The buried past was like an abstract painting, and I didn't have a prescription pair of glasses, so that just made it a lot more confusing. All of my queries would be quelled with a single knock. Every theory would be confirmed or denied with one knock.
Okay, so I don't think he's home right now, so we'll come back later. Okay, so it did get a little late, and the camera crew had to go home, but I am dedicated to journalism, so I'm currently staked outside of the house of Gerald Birkins. Wait for... Oh, shit, there he is. Sir, excuse me. Are you Gerald...
Hello?
Are you Gerald Birkins?
No, I don't. I bought the place from him.
Oh, shoot. Do you have his new address, or...
No, I'm sorry.
cool. No, it's no problem. It's for an interview. We think that he might have killed somebody. Take care.
Wait,
you have a great day, sir.
he
Thank you so
murdered
much for the
somebody?
information. You kidding me? You actually... I drive all this way. This was like a 2-hour drive, and everybody left me, so I had to sit outside in the freezing cold. It's literally like 30 degrees, and you know what? I'm so sorry. One fucking lead, and everything just had to go wrong. Are you actually? You know what? No. You know what? The only person who can quell me right now is Phoebe Bridgers. I can't deal with this. I'm gonna fire somebody today. I'm not even joking. I can't. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with this. Can I just talk about the problem with the people in this industry? They leave me out there. Don't even give me any sort of. I'm not. Sing it, Phoebe. No.